leadership and, the personality types and leadership. I want to say that we have just about some minutes, almost about an hour, but this is a very big subject. There's a lot of information about it. What I'm going to do here, because I know how to fast talk, I'm going to try and run through all the 9 steps. And I also want to say I just highlighted some things. I could not take the whole thing because it would take us several days to do the thing. And so I just want to start by saying, and I think we've tried to reiterate this, the Enneagram is not the whole of you. The Enneagram is a way, your orientation, how you are mainly programmed. And it doesn't mean you have not changed since the beginning, but this showcases your personality. It is a map to who you are, but it is not the whole picture of who you are. And what is important about this, what I'm going to talk about now, is not to start stereotyping and saying, oh yeah, my boss, that is my boss who was described there, or this and the other one. I think just to note this, because this program is about raising awareness. And your manager may have this issue, or they may not have this issue. And the people who work below you may have this issue, or they don't have an issue. And so I will not go into a lot of the weakness part of it. I just wanted to really reiterate the fact that you are a gift to the universe. Whether you are 1, whether you are 10, there's not a 9, 8, like some of us, you are a gift to the universe. And that gift can only be realized if it doesn't go the other side. No, it is a balance. They call it in Enneagram language, the rule of 3, where you balance instead of just really going. And like we were saying the other day, somebody like one of our presidents that we all know about is 8 gone wrong. But 8 is what changes the world as well. So it's a whole, the extremes. And when I talk about the strength, what I want you to be asking, what is the opposite? And is that what I'm doing? And if that is what I'm doing, I just know it is a good thing turned bad. So I spend a lot of time on this thing. As I'm sure you have figured out now that I'm very interested in the Enneagram thing, because it gives me a very quick whatever to my own soul, and I hope to yours as well. And then it is the awakening, the awareness has enabled me to keep working on me and to keep changing. So I will stop there. But I really wanted to caution about, saying, that was my boss who was presented there. Exactly what I know. And I knew exactly this is what they were doing. So look down, because you are also a leader. So these are the characteristics of a leader and what they look like. So I will start by talking about type 1. A show of hands. How many type 1s we have here? Only 4, 5, 6? Okay. How many 2s? 3s? I expected quite a bit there. 4? We have not found a single 4 in this cohort. There was 1 in cohort 2 and none in cohort 1. How many 5s? Are you kidding me? Huh? 1 here and 1 there. So 2. Okay, how many 6s? There should be more. Okay, but that's 6. Okay. 7? 2. That is shocking. 8? I know there is none. And 9? 9? Oh, all right. Okay. So that is the lay of the land. I hope you... please next time. So I want to say we are programmed and brought into these personality types by the kind of experiences we go in through home, through different kinds of programming, as I said earlier on. If you need this, I am willing to send it to you. So I don't want you to spend time writing. You just need to say you need it, and I will send it to you. So, type 1. And the core characteristics we need to know. And the other thing is, we are managing type 1s, and we may also be type 1. So I want you to look at it, but I'll be comparing that there. So leadership is just very different from just saying, this is my core type. And here, it is conscientious and virtuous, judgmental tendencies, one right way of thinking, and perfectionism, and criticality, I don't know whether that is English, control, and sometimes over-control, results-oriented. They are natural leaders with high-quality results, not motivated by power or recognition. Those are just the core characteristics. And then the superpowers. I found this very interesting. I could live there for a long time. But they really are concerned about doing the right thing. So if you are leading an organization and you are type 1, you will tend to see an obsession with doing the right thing. And what a blessing that is if it is going the right way. Ethical and responsible. And they work so hard, many of them are just about to be killing themselves. Then improvement and detail-oriented. So it is like, why can't they let that thing go? We have been on this hill for a very long time, and they are not stopping. And your boss is sending the thing back and forth 10 times, and it is like you want to kill them. But that is who they are. And they really are very good at quality control, creating processes and procedures, which, if it is gone wrong, all you do is that you feel like you are a tree, and all you do is follow this procedure, and the next one, and the next one. But when used properly, they are complete assets to organizations. They build very strong organizations, and then making significant, well-intentioned efforts. This is the one personality type that is not really, when it is going the way it should go, is not looking for recognition. They just come from a very hard thing. They are doing what they are. Next, please. If I run too fast, stop me, but I will need to because we don't have time. And type 1 is a manager. Intentions are good, and they aim, they actually respect you, but they really want to do the right thing as well. They are dedicated to good causes. I am not sure, but somebody should check whether Mandela was a 1 or a 2, but he was one of those. Then they are excellent teachers. High level of personality integrity. They will completely say, unless this thing is being done properly, then we can't move because that is not who they are, and they won't let go. And so then you need to know, when you are working for a manager who is a 1, then you need to just fix your thing. Otherwise, you will be irritating them forever. They work hard to support others and they can take on too much. Am I talking to anybody here? Criticism and judgment. So it's really, they criticize a lot. This needs to be done this way, and it wasn't done that way, and the other one. But the thing to understand here is that they are coming from a right place. It's not motivated, they are not being mean, they are not trying to undermine you, and then failure to delegate. And I will not point out and ask somebody for an example. I wish we had time just to go through this and discuss it here, but of course we don't. But most ones can't delegate. And the problem is because they don't think anybody can do this thing the way they can do it, and that is the best way. And so when you are struggling with your manager, and you can see them dying and sleeping in the office, we had from Purity yesterday, and it is like, how can somebody be sleeping in the office? But since they are leading us, we will sleep there too. Please don't do that. It's not good for you. So when you are managing a 1, They project any criticism you make, they just hold it. And so they will imagine, like you will say this went very well, and they will just stand there and this didn't work so well. And even if you quote it and say areas of growth, they don't hear that. So you have to know when you are actually correcting what you should do, especially if they are under you, because you just imagine that push for doing the thing perfectly, and then you are told it doesn't look good. And it doesn't matter how good ones have done, when the manager is down and saying something, they need to be sensitive how they are saying it. So they hear only the negative feedback, and they ignore the positive. So how do you handle this as a manager? And then they do good work, but they may resent efforts of not being recognized. They don't necessarily want to be praised, but they want you at least to say something, that you did a good job and this was well done. And then it is like, they always do a good job, I don't care. So they can resent that sometimes. And they may work too hard and become angry when others are not doing it as much. I don't want to go to the Bible, but there's a story of a woman who was saying, my sister is just sitting at Jesus' feet and doing nothing. And me, I'm dying with work there. So they will do the thing, do it perfectly, but they may resent you, those who are not doing the work. They are detail organization, they are detail oriented. So nothing, they want the nitty-gritties to ones really matter. Please, next. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, strength to leverage. Dedicated to doing good in the world. The motivation and the right thing in the heart, that is one of their main strengths. The high level of personal integrity. Who doesn't want stuff like that? High standards of quality, strong sense of responsibility. And they just keep saying it must be done, and it must be done properly. Good intentions and effort, clear thinking provides clarity and supportive structures. So you will see they obsess about structures, they want a way of doing things, and that is what they want in the office. So the challenging things is their need to be right. Their need to be right, and they're pushing for their way. So the black and white thinking, these are the gray things that go around. They don't necessarily see that. Then overly critical of themselves and others. So when they are criticizing you, don't take it personally, because they have killed themselves before they got to you. So maybe finding a common ground where you can meet. Perfectionism is the thing. They tend to be very rigid, and they have what we call righteous anger and resentment. They don't want to see things go wrong, and so they will push for that kind of a thing. That is one. An asset, a gift, right, to any organization. And they are there in your group. But a lot of times we feel like the other thing that I didn't write here is that they can tend to delay things because it is never perfect. And so you are waiting for somebody to act, and instead of acting, they are busy doing their own thing. So next is, please, next slide, is type 2 level leadership. Core characteristics. Their desire is to be indispensable. So they have charm, empathy, and warmth. These tools are just a joy to be around. I'm just telling you. They have emotional sensitivity, so they can feel you. They are relationship oriented, and they are looking out. And the self-elevation and self-deflation. So you can just see they can see whatever, but they are always kind of putting themselves. They don't want to talk about themselves and what they are doing, but they are lifting you to the sky. But it is like me, I'm not really good for very much, which is not a thing. But they are very other oriented, and that can be problematic as well. And they expect, of course, that you will reciprocate. So strength and superpowers, energetically supporting others, they are really service oriented. They do the job, and they do what needs to get done, and they like having fun and lifting the mood. All I need to see is one person from northern Uganda, and my smiles are all over the place. They just enter the place, and the smile is infectious. Okay, I'm not naming names here. Orchestrating positive experiences. And they really appreciate what is good for others. So they most likely, if they are really operating the way they should, they will not forget that you did a good thing. And they will be sure to compliment and say. So if you don't have a two in your place, things are just mostly quiet. Nobody is recognized. Nobody is lifting spirits. Anyway, next. You can tell I love truths, but they drive me nuts sometimes. Next. Okay. So type 2 as a manager. They are enthusiastic leader. Huh? You just see them, you hear them. They are really just there. It is like, when are they going to stop being enthusiastic? But I like that. Strategic, supporters to their staff. They have the ability to read the room. They get in the room and they look, but they also can perform, and they will be relating to what is going on there. Because when they get in the room like this, they are looking at, how, what is going on here? How can I help? How can I help lift the mood? And then positive relationships. Warm, friendly, and intimidating. I wish you could give me some of that. Concerned with appearances and performance. And so they tend to delay things to avoid conflict. So they're walking around, issues and squeezing in corners. They're not wanting to offend people, and difficult for providing negative feedback. So if your boss is a two and they are not saying anything, you pin them down and ask them, why are you not telling me this thing? But they don't want to do that, because then that goes against, rubs them the wrong way. So they are usually actually comfortable in most support roles. They strive to perform the right way. They are generous, diplomatic, and really, they are generous and diplomatic, and they are driven. You can just feel the energy in the place. And of course, they avoid conflict and can be indirect. So they are moving around them corners. Fear of asking for help. These guys offer their needs met. These guys will die, but they'll never be asking you for anything. They want to be helped, but they are fearing what will be the negative impact of when I am asking for help. I'm supposed to be the one giving. I'm not supposed to be given, which is actually a weakness there, because then they will work themselves to death. Difficult of expressing or being honest about feelings. Type 1s don't like this feeling business, So you just also know if they are denying it from themselves, what are they doing with you? So they can get very uncomfortable with you when you bring some of this. You should be happy anyway. And if I'm doing my job right and I am your manager, you really shouldn't be having this problem. Next, and are we there? Yes. Strengths and challenges. They have the natural ability to empathize. They are dedicated to nurturing relationships. If you have a friend who is a 2, you know what I'm talking about. And then willingness to work hard. They are collaborative oriented, and they are actually generous. So 2 weeks from here, I'm also having things from Uganda. Anyway, so challenging and tendencies. I only pick on you because I care about you, so don't take it personally. Responsibility for managing feelings. They really don't want to do this thing of manage. They don't want to manage, feelings. Inability to manage boundaries. So you ask them this, yes. As long as you need it, I'll do it for you. With the other one, yes. Oh, the other one just asked me, but I will make sure I squeeze you in. They are prone to strong emotions. They need to be indispensable because they need to give. So their need there to be indispensable. And sometimes they can have low confidence. Not everybody has it, but sometimes they tend to be like that. Next, did we jump something? Was there something about a manager? Can you go back to 2? Okay, did I do this? Okay, so go to 3. Thanks. Core characteristics of 3. Ability to read the audience. A 3 enters the room, and straight like this, they can just tell who is here and what are they, and they just will transform themselves on the spot, and they are in full play. When they enter that room, they are not really trying to be whatever. And then they are goal-oriented. The achievement thing drives them, and they want to manage their image. They want you to, when you go, to be remembering you saw him, and how you saw him, and how he looked like, and you can also tell from their dress sometimes. And then very competitive. But then they avoid feelings. They don't want, because you know, feelings make you vulnerable. And anyway, strengths and superpowers. Setting and meeting goals. These people are a joy to work with. Those of you, all of you know Jason. Jason is a 3. I love him to death because the two of us can kill each other working. You know, so they actually get the job done. I mean, you know, there's 32 of you or 35, and I think we did you in 2.5 weeks. I mean, some of the times we are doing those things, we are doing 5 of you back to back, and we are laughing for 3 minutes in between. What is this craziness? But both of us love it. That is 3, you know, marketing and sales. They can really sell things. So you have to be careful because they can get you into things you don't want. And then they want to project success and competence, and the competition and striving to be the best and inspiring others. I mean, if you have a 3 who is a boss, you know you are represented in the room. Because when they land there, they will do their thing, and they will do their magic, and they will change as change needs. So if you think I'm not saying the right thing, you should tell me. So, type 3 is a manager. They are natural leaders, and they want to accomplish big goals. So they keep pushing you, we haven't done enough. You know, view emotions as unproductive. They actually do not want this emotional business. And you will see here they don't handle that very well. Sets a vision and more models, and they have very strong work ethic. They prioritize work over everything else. Am I lying, please? No. Huh? Okay. So you can understand when you try to be saying you have other issues. Your manager is like, yeah, you can. I'm sorry, you have an issue. Please go and do the thing I asked you to do. They may not put it that way, but that is the expectation because the performing is so important. Then they have high expectations and low tolerance. If you are a real worker and you are working, you know, 3s and 1s can really go someplace, but they can drive you nuts. Then dedicated to the work, go and the goals of the organization and you. But I want to say here, they are dedicated to you because you are an instrument for providing the success that they need to be able to go where they need to go. So they feel you and they make you feel felt. But low tolerance for non-performers. Am I speaking the truth?
That is the truth.
All right. Nothing but the truth. Then they are supportive, helpful, and they are hands-off. Once they give you a job, they really just expect you to perform. So they will not be micromanaging you like one is most likely to do. So the other thing is that they are strong one-on-one relationships, and they encourage people to fulfill their potential. If your manager is a 1, you will hear them really kind of trying to encourage you to go to the next time, and sometimes they can really push you. They need time to sort out things when they go wrong. So you don't want to tell them that thing now and you get a response. Because they want to process them and just see. And you know, again, the response will be maybe biased towards, did the job get done? Managing type 3s. They are joy to work with. They implement plans and goals. They thrive whether they are boss or not. And clear ideas on how things should be done. Conflicts are likely if they feel micromanaged. Hello? Moves very fast. Can be awkward if the boss moves slower. See? That is when you want to strangle the boss. Okay? tries to make you look good, and they appreciate leaders who listen to them. So if those three are there in your organization, and they look at, of course, we talk about what a gift they are. And then also, are you giving them the space that they need to operate? Next, please. Strength to leverage. What you can use if you have a type 3 boss or a type 3 worker for you is ability to get the work done well and quickly. It is such a joy not to have to go back to Jason after we have done 120, these typing things. And I never have to worry about whether the job will work or not. I hope he is not biting his tongue, because I just love the guy. Then they have confidence and they are determined. They are resourceful and they have tenacity. And they're actually emotionally sensitive, but it is for different reasons. Okay? Challenging tendencies. They move like speed. They drive their drive to compete. I have to keep quoting Jason because he's the only type 2 that I intimately know. He says sometimes he's competing with himself. He is, the what do you call that thing? The tom-tom, the thing to tell you direction says you get there in 15 minutes. And then you compete to say, I'll get there in 12 minutes. And like that is crazy. But their desire to do that and desire to always be doing, they can't stop. And they want to manage their image. And that sometimes, when it is not handled properly, it can go overboard. And then the guys are overworking. They sleep in the offices. Some of them sleep with their computers. And then they over-identify with work or image, So, threes, am I lying about this overwork thing? Some of you are sleeping with these computers, hoping that the things are sleeping during the night. But I understand them. I'm not criticizing. They are my guys. Okay. Type 4. We won't stay here, but I am so concerned that out of 120 people here, we have one single 4 from Tanzania. So I wanted to say, just remember all these types are within you. Some of them are sleeping and they need to be awakened. So this has actually really concerned me. We have been talking about it a little. So why? So then the core characteristics, they are authentic, they express themselves. They're emotionally intuitive. They can feel you and they can really empathize. They want always to be special, unique or extraordinary. I have met another 4, but that person is in my life in some sense. They're biased to emotional connection in relationships. They can actually sense and feel what is going on, and then they can be moody and dramatic. You thought you are going there and you are talking something nicely, and the next thing is they are crying. It's like, I see what happened here. I thought we were just talking. Where did the tears come from? Then the emphasis on work that has meaning. So they don't really just fool around doing stuff. So they are artistic. They have emotional intuition. They can feel things. Their capacity for feeling is very high. And this is where the thing we are talking about today, if you want to get it straight and right, you will hear 4 there, authentic. And they are very sensitive to human connections. They need those because they are always thinking out there's something that they don't have, and they can get it from somewhere, and they are trying to create this. Next. So you see them, they're actually not hard to spot in their organization. So they are interested in forming personal connections. They really want you to succeed. Unexpectedly emotionally available. So they are available. You can actually connect with them. And they don't fool around with conflict. They are empathic and sensitive. They are open and very appreciate. They appreciate you, and they enjoy interacting with team and communicating about work. So they are really good to work with there again. So here again, managing type 4, they keep lines of communications open, keep lines of, for connection and for discussion. They perform well when understood and supported. A lot of times they don't feel they are being supported. And they are sensitive to feeling like they don't fit in. They just somehow don't feel like they fit in. Can be high performers and provide valuable creative input. So their strength here that you can leverage their understanding of the emotional levels of an interaction. You are feeling nothing, you are looking at somebody, but a 4 will just go for that kind of a thing and can pick it. They are dedicated to creating a pleasant, comfortable working environment. And then they desire to form connections. They are fearless in the face of emotions. They are very intense, passionate, and they are courageous. And they have real strong convictions. So challenging, they have very strong emotions. They have also poor confidence. If you remember, I said they are trying to think that somebody else has got what they don't have. Lack of attention to detail, and their desire for depth, meaning, and intensity. Next. So you can see why I was saying I don't know how to do this. We are only at 5, but I think we will make it. Am I too fast? Because I'm an 8 and I don't get tired. I have to keep making jokes. Don't be so serious. Okay? Type 5, their leadership style. They accesses and assess information. They are really into this information business, these guys. They are very objective, and you will see as we go on, they don't really engage. They make objective decisions. They don't really want to get into the emotional stuff. They focus on maintaining appropriate boundaries. So if your leader is a 5, they don't want you to be kind of not, and that is very difficult for Africans. They don't really do boundary things. Although we have a lot of 5s here. Not a lot, but we have a few. They are intellectual and thoughtful. And the fact that we only have 2 should worry you. They're detached from their emotions sometimes. They are private and modest. And compartmentalization. Many of them tend to see things in just remember, this is the core type, so I'm generalizing here. And then strength and superpowers, gathering and evaluating information. The intellectual understanding of your vision. Objectivity, giving people space. They don't really want to be meddling around. Self-sufficient, they're humble, steadfastly supportive, and reliable. And they can keep calm in the midst of the biggest storm on earth. They are just sitting there. And they can really provide stability during times of crisis. So when your manager is at type 5, they are straightforward and professional. I love these, but I realize why I love them, because there's things we call in Enneagram lines. I have a line to 5. Remote, they can be remote and communicative, or thoughtful, and they can also be thoughtful and understanding. And I was giving an example the other day. A man has married, the man is a 5, and has married, I think, a 2 or somebody like that. And then they were just there, they want to help them, they want to support them. So we were in a group learning about this Enneagram, and they were asked, so how would you like to relate with your wife? And the guy said, I would like her only to come and visit, because I don't want to be on my own all the time. Because let them stay there, I love them, but I don't want to see them all the time. And then if the wife is a 2, and both of you don't understand this thing, you can imagine the conflict there. Then they don't really like irrelevant details. And then, here we really like to explain things. So you are going on and on and on and on, and one is feeling like, when is this going? How long are we doing this? Enthusiastic and trustworthy. They are direct, rational, and calm. Self-contained. Objectively analytical. They really, I said, honors boundaries and they are clear-minded. Even when they give you suggestions, they have thought through it. So when you are managing them, they are work-oriented, they are independent, and so they hate being micromanaged. So they want to have things very clear, roles, functions, and plans, and they want to know exactly, what do you want me to do? What are you asking me to do? Stop running around and telling me 100 things and maze and whatever. Just be direct with me. They will not engage with emotional or personal issues. And not everybody is like this. Remember, we have the core type, and we have the three subtypes. And we have other things called archetypes, but I'm not taking you there now. So they really respect. One of their problems, one of their issues there, when you are managing them, they respect time limits and private space and work tasks. So when the office is flowing, and there's a two here who is doing their thing, and kind of, you will see quite a number of us are very informal, the way we approach things here, and it drives some personalities completely up the wall because they really want the job done and they want it clear and they want to push there. Then their strength, their ability to make and maintain boundaries, these are important if you want to achieve things. The intellectual curiosity and enthusiasm for knowledge and ideas. And that is why we need them in our organizations to stop getting carried away with our own emotional things. They are supposedly really objective thinkers. They are professional and modest, and they are content experts. They are not running around 100 fields. So usually they will be doing this thing, and they are, it is done with such perfection, but sometimes they go overboard. And they go to their island, and you are wondering, when is this person going to migrate back to reality? That is also something. So you see the polarity thing I was telling you, extremes. When balanced, it is a complete asset to any organization. So the challenge is this thing of them distancing themselves from emotions, and you are wondering, how is this person doesn't feel anything, what happened to their heart? But they are just there. They really, their preference for private space, and especially in the NGO circles where private space is not necessarily respected much, difficult sharing personal information. So if you want to know what is going on, they just look at you and it is like, what can I do for you? And, they say excessive concern with conserving energy. They believe in scarce personal resources, fear of intrusion, and emotional entanglement. They don't really want to get into your crying in the office and getting also emotional or completely getting in that emotional thing, and you can't snap out. So remember, if you are 5, you are living with human beings, and so somehow you have to find a common ground. But also remember, when you are going and talking to him for an hour, he probably will have asked you to leave the room by that time. But when you are talking to them for an hour, like you are just killing them. So finding common ground. Next, I love them 6s, so they are here. Huh? And I end up working with quite a few of them, and we could kill each other, but we love each other as well. So the core characteristics. Mr. 6 is, or Miss 6. They are analytical. When you get to a thing, they are totally over-prepared. You give them a small thing, they arrive in the office, and they have 10 things prepared to come and give them to you. And they are always wondering, what is it that